Thanks, John. Yeah, Pacton is primarily focused on high-grade gold in Western Australia and Red Lake, Ontario. And of course, these are diverse areas, but they do have a lot in common. And our search for high grade in prolific and stable areas is really, the core of that theme. So in terms of our PILBARA ownership, we're the third largest landholder in the PILBARA Craton, and you can see us in yellow here. You can see the holdings of Novo. We saw this as a play where, in my whole career, I've never seen a land play without any players. And in 2017, it was in dire need of Canadian market participation, and so we thought, yeah, this is unique, and we started to enter in small chunks, and then they gradually grew as our market cap grew and our ability to do these land deals grew. So now, our acquisition part is pretty much done. You can see the outline of the Craton here. Really, we've focused on 3 projects now. We're in the prioritization of these projects. So basically, we're focused on the EGINA area. The EGINA is really all about overlying unconsolidated gold caught in sort of gravelly type material. It's known as sort of a marine terrace environment where you've got sorting and basically it's alluvial deposits spread out over large areas, and we have a very, very good land position in this EGINA area. We know that Novo is working it very, very hard to the north of us, but no mistaking though, underlying, especially in there's distinct structures that underlie some of this gravel environment, and these are potentially high-grade gold vein type structures, and some of the nuggets that have been collected from these areas, still have the quartz in them and whatnot, so they're definitely from these type of environments. Our second 2, which is the YANDICOOGINA and the BOODALYERRIE projects, they're pure super high-grade gold structural deposits, or potential with at surface with lots of high-grade gold distributed amongst these veins at surface, old pitting, historical workings, but zero depth, zero looks at depth or for continuity. It's always been fragmented. The interest in gold in the PILBARA has been almost non-existent up until a short period in the early 1900s, and then in 80-81 there was a period there, but since then it's all been about iron ore and other types of deposits. So yeah, our EGINA project is a sort of a surface sampling, bulk sampling. We have mining leases on the southern part near Friendly Creek. We have historical high-grade workings in the Hong Kong, Golden Palms, and Friendly Creek areas. So it's about the overlying surface gold, but also paying attention to the underlying high-grade structures that are potential part, at least, feeders to these systems. Again, these are the types of nuggets. It's not your watermelon nuggets that come directly out of the conglomerates. These are nuggets have been reworked somewhat. So part of our program is going to be, it's called dry blowing. It's just basically surface sampling without the use of water and sorting. And we eventually would like to follow up with diamond drilling of the underlying structures. But for now, the next news out of EGINA, from us at least, will be results of surface sampling and surface crew work. This slide will give you the idea of the extent of these alluvial terrace gravel targets. It's very, very extensive. You can see Nova working to the north of us. We're inside the yellow lines, and the gravel cover there, very extensive and in contact with the basement and the conglomerates as well. Our eastern projects, they really, really excite me. I mean, I was on the ground in this YANDICOOGINA area, and you stand there and there's old pits and old workings, and they stretch. You can see them for, a couple of kilometers in a line, and no drilling underneath, like absolutely no depth testing. The one company that is doing that is Calidus, and they're drilling off a deposit that stretches, it's upwards of about 3 kilometers now. They got about 3 or 4 drills going on it from surface. So, I mean, this type of thing exists here, but it's extremely underexplored. And in this next slide, you can see the types of nuggets that our crews pulled from surface here at YANDICOOGINA, and you can see that they're associated with veining and quartz and structure. And, so you've got the contacts of, you've got intrusives in contact with volcanics. You've got extremely good, capacity and geology for the deposition of these high-grade gold deposits. And so these are all these Death Adder and these other, Black Shepherd. These are historical workings with very shallow shafts and pits, and extremely high-grade nuggety gold has been pulled from these, and it continues to this day, but again, without any look to depth. BOODALYERRIE is the same. It's a little further east, but it's on the edge of a large intrusive. It's a large sericitic altered tonalite, and it's the upside down of literally of Canada, where most of the vein systems have been gouged by glaciation, so they're in Canada, so the alteration, is preferably gouged out. The opposite in Australia, where it actually, sticks out under the ground. These are exaggerated images, but basically LiDAR in combination with, 3D topography and satellite imagery will have these systems stick right out. You can see them from the air. So we're going to follow up in this very large system on the eastern edge of the PILBARA at our BOODALYERRIE project. Just kind of a summary of what to expect. So surface sampling at EGINA. Then there's moving into sort of more of a bulk sampling environment, and then the search for extremely high-grade vein-type gold deposits in the Boody and the Yandi areas. Red Lake is interesting because we originated there. I mean, I worked as a mine geologist a long time ago in the Dickinson mine before it was Goldcorp. So we've got exposure to the area, and we set ourselves up there because it was quiet at the time a couple of years ago. Our package is in yellow, so we're immediately below the pure gold land holdings and very close to their wedge zone. And then we're above the new Dixie project by Great Bear, and it's Great Bear that awoke these type of rocks. So we're always considered second-tier rocks, the Confederation assemblage compared to the Balmer assemblage in blue, where most of the production came from. Now, Dixie basically is a structurally controlled high-grade gold deposit that, sits in folded mafic volcanics, which is exactly what we have over most of our land package in black here, central to the whole thing. And then our newest northern package, it goes up into the Balmer assemblage and comes within 2.5 kilometers of Goldcorp's number one producing shaft, the number 3 shaft. So really nice package. We're flying a high-res HeliMag currently, and we're going to follow up with diamond drilling. We have a bunch of historical showings, upwards of 120 gram per ton in small pits near surface. And, some of this is on these D2 shears that everybody looks for in Red Lake. So basically, we're looking for dilations and folds in these D2 shears, sometimes in contact with between mafic and intermediate volcanics, or these small, intrusive stalks, which are very important to the area as well. So all the ingredients are there. We're just going to do some classic high-grade vein type exploration work in Red Lake, sandwiched between two very successful projects right now, being the Pure Gold and the Great Bear. These are the historical results from between the 1930s, mid-30s, and till about 10 or 15 years ago. And again, the exploration's been sporadic and not steady in this area, and a lot of that's to do with the hype on Red Lake has come and gone a few times over the last 75 years. And especially so for these Confederation rocks, which have now really come to the fore and, is what the bulk of our land position is on. And then the question is always asked, well, do they go deep? Well, we had a seismic survey in 2006 bisect our property right in half, and we've got structures very, very clear down to 12 kilometers that obviously are going to be able to tap fluids at depth. Regional exploration models very close to the Great Bear, and so there's a lot of news to come out of Red Lake, surveys, drilling, etc. And I really welcome you to come to our booth here, and same with at the PDAC. I'd like to talk to anybody about it who wants to. Thank you.